Morning, Trainiacs. I've been waiting for that recovery swim for 4 days, and as you can tell by the floaty pants, it was. It's not all fun and games though today. We have a track workout later today. On that note, we're going to talk about how to stack your workouts throughout the week, because I screwed that up this week. Well, Trainiacs, that was just a nice cruisy 3,600 yards. Fairly easy. Might sound long, but it was largely 1,200 meters of fin work, facilitate loosening up those legs, a bunch of snorkel band pull, again, just kind of take some load off of the core. What else do we have? Oh, paddles. Yeah, paddles. I need to work on those paddles. The other paddles that I used to use, easy peas, quite enjoyable. These ones, death. It's chaos happening underwater. And then we ended it off with some real snappy 25s. All right, let me shower, put some clothes on, cover up these nipples, bike home, get in front of a computer, eat some breakfast, and then we will talk about how to lay out a training weekend. Quick as that. All right, Trainiacs, so let's get into how I've designed my training week and how you can design your training week. All right, so I've shown you this before. This is my training week right now. But here's what I've got. I've color-coded all the green workouts. These are the key workouts. These are the ones that I'm either trying to build endurance, I'm trying to build speed, I'm trying to build strength, like I'm pushing myself. The yellow workouts are what Matt Dixon would refer to as the supporting workouts. These are recovery workouts. These are workouts that are less intense. These are shorter workouts. Essentially, they're intended to facilitate recovery or just make your training a little bit more purposeful. What you'll see is that on Monday and Friday, we have nothing but yellow workouts. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to create 2 mini blocks within the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday feature a fair bit of intensity, and Saturday, Sunday feature a fair bit of endurance and intensity. On Monday and Friday is A, recover from the weekend, and B, prepare myself for Tuesday or Thursday. Number one, people have asked why I don't have an outright rest day. Well, Monday and Friday are essentially rest days, and recovery, the act of your body repairing itself, getting stronger, happens largely with blood flow. And when you're working out, you are increasing the blood flow in your body. So by going and working out at a really low intensity, and those 2 days aren't really taking out any sort of, say, freshness from me, it's really just getting that blood flow happening again and facilitating recovery. So that's why I don't take an outright rest day. I'll take an outright rest day if I'm really beat up for days and days on end. And if backing off from a few days of workouts in a row doesn't end up making me better, I'll take a full day off. But I like to build this in to make sure that recovery is actually sped up. Now, the next thing that I'll point out is how I've isolated the one key run session of the week. This morning, fairly easy. The workout tomorrow morning, fairly easy. When you start doing a really key run workout, like a track workout, like I'm gonna do later today, you've gotta make sure that you're really fresh for it, you're really prepared. This way, your form can be really good and you can focus on executing that run well and making sure that your form isn't falling apart, likely leading to injuries. So when you do a key run, you wanna make sure that it's fairly isolated, and we've got it set up in a way that you're not gonna run on tired legs and that you can recover really well the next day. Now, where else could you put that? I mean, you could do something like this. You could move this over here so that you're prepped for it the day before, you're recovering from it the day after. However, I don't like to run in the morning, and I don't wanna go and smash myself with a really hard run and then set up my Wednesday and Thursday being tired from that run. So I like to put it all the way over here by itself. You will also see that there are 4 runs throughout the course of the week, but only one of them is very intense. You can get a lot from a brick run. That's gonna help you a huge amount in your triathlon training. And when you get to the race, you're gonna be prepared to run off the bike. So these runs don't need to be super duper intense. Doing a brick run on Tuesday, a brick run on Sunday, it's 20, 25 minutes, nice light controlled pace, focusing on good form, just making sure that I'm nice and upright and running really well. I do have one long-ish run here on Saturday, but it's quite a bit slower. It's a really easy pace. Right now it's 60, 65 minutes, but I'm on hills. So it's like I'm cheating the long run by making it a little bit shorter, a little bit less intense, but I'm still getting a lot out of it by running those hills. And this way, I'm keeping those running movements really ingrained into my legs by running 4 times a week, but I'm only adding intensity once, and that time is really well set up. I'm nice and fresh for it. The other time that I'm running, which a lot of people would say like, hey, Taren, why don't you have a long run in here? I have kind of a long run, but I'm focusing more on the structure of my body than I am the speed and the endurance. And you'll also see that I've got 4 swims in here, and a lot of people in comments lately have been saying like, dude, the swim is such a small proportion of a half Ironman race. Why do you have so much swims? Because I'm backing off of intensity on the run, I need to make up for that somewhere else. And you can go intense and get to that red line in the swim without the same risk as redlining in the run, because it's lower impact, it's less stress on your body, so you can build that top end of fitness in your cardiovascular system with a lot less risk. Also, I might be able to get a minute or 2 faster in the swim, no big deal, but if I can get out of the swim a minute or 2 faster and be way fresher for the bike, I can execute a much better bike. So it's not necessarily about swimming that much faster, it's about swimming, biking, and running that much faster. Now here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to be doing something like this, where you're constantly putting really strong efforts out every single day, and you're just every day pushing yourself to the limit, pushing yourself to the limit, pushing yourself to the limit, stacking on intensity with intensity, things like that. It's really tough to do. Typically, what you can think of is an 80-20 rule. You want about 80% of your work to be fairly low intensity, either a warm-up, either a technique session, either a recovery session. And then you want about 20% to be fast, to be twitchy, to be focusing on intensity and speed. Now, as I get into this, I'm realizing that this is probably a big series of videos. I didn't intend for this one to actually go that long. What I'll say is that a lot of these principles are intended to be automated and built in and set up for you in the new team training platform that I'm building, because there's a lot of art to this and there's a lot of nuances that I could just keep talking for another hour, but that would be a pretty lame video. But in the description below, there's a link to the Kickstarter campaign for the team training platform. And if you like the sounds of this, a little help would be appreciated on that Kickstarter. Now, let's go do a big fast run, okay? Wow, that hurt. So that was 10-minute light jog, and then 10 minutes of drills and stuff like that. 8 minutes of bounding strides, fast feet, strides, just kind of getting up to speed. And then the work started with 100 hard, 200 easy, 200 hard, 200 easy, 400 hard, 800 hard, 400 hard, 200 hard, 100 hard, with the 200s in between. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. After the first 200, I was thinking, I wonder if Mel shot enough to convince people that I finished the entire workout. That was a slog, Trainiacs. Isn't this attractive? All right, Trainiacs, link to the Team Trainiac Kickstarter campaign in the description below if you want to get awesome team-based training together.
Sport is awesome.